Hey everyone, Sebastian here from Atmoseeker, your place for props, terrain, and creating an inspiring atmosphere for your tabletop role-playing games. In this video, it's just an edit of a recent live stream that we've done on the channel, showing some lighting and atmosphere techniques that I've set up for a game room for running a home game. So if you want to join the discussion, there's a Facebook group as well at atmoseeker.com, or you can drop a comment below and if there's any kind of tools or techniques you want to get some more information about. So without further ado, let's go take a look. So, hey, how you doing? So we've got the Dungeon Master section here with my little LED lights behind here, all the computery stuff, and then we've got the game table, nice little chandelier. And on the far wall, we've got some like drapery kind of stuff. And then I've got a couple of floods up there. I've got them kind of set low just because I don't want them to pollute too much of the room, because on this far side of the wall, I'll have this projection. So on the other side, this is kind of like a clear, kind of almost like a sheer material. And then the other side, I've got a projector. And apparently, a helicopter as well. Far side of the garage. So I've kind of cornered it off with some of these black curtains, tablecloths, tomato. And if we have just like a quick look underneath the table here, you can see from the fog chiller we've made on the channel. That's just a $30 smoke machine kind of filled up to this container, and there's a hose going up the far side that goes up here, and it's kind of hidden by some of this Halloween mesh, and it goes straight into our game board. So there underneath the chandelier, I've got one of these DMX PAR lights, and that's hooked up to this control board, which I can control all the lighting and colors and stuff. And I'm going to run a whole bunch of cables up through the roof and stuff, so it all comes down to here, and it just illuminates the game board that we have set up. You can get a bit closer here. Let's see if I can get a lot closer. There we go. Now that definitely needs a little bit more fog to get the full effect here. Oh, here we go. Time is kicking in now. So this is just like a den, and I'll show you some more lighting effects later in the live stream. And I think we'll just kind of walk around to the far side here. See, I quite like this projection method because that sheer material is quite, it's a little bit translucent. So if you look on the far wall, you can see some of that light coming through. So it almost looks like it's like a real window. It's a cool effect. All right, we're just gonna move around here. Lots of candles, nothing, sets the mood right. And it was gonna be Valentine's Day, so nothing sets the mood for Valentine's Day, like D&D and lots of candles. All right, so we're gonna come around to the far side. You can see from the player perspective. We've got some more candles here. We've got some smelling scents. This was on the latest video where I showed some different scents. Those are the, what was it? Something fish games? Odd Fish Games. They have some adventure scents that would work quite well. Here, just a few extra props. So we've got some book boxes here. I'm trying to use it to kind of obscure some of these cables and stuff that I might have. So I guess from the player point of view, you might not be able to see it that much. That camera and stuff wouldn't be set up normally. So, but this is kind of the viewport from the players, where they have some of that. The chandelier and everything, and the game boards. And down here I've got just illuminating some of the player areas. You can see there's a little bit of spot of light there. So I have these kind of pin spots set up on the ceiling And we've got some more props. This is all for like the Dragon of Icespire Peak. So this was some stuff that came in the adventure. What is it? The Essentials kit. That's it. And we've got Cryovane there. Here comes the fog. I think the way I've got it set, maybe I'll do it a bit more often than what it's coming out at fog. We've got a nice little cave setting. There was meant to be some ill goings in these caves. Some interesting ways to kind of hide cables as well. Sorry, just for a moment, just going to loop this cable around. So down one of these columns that I've got in the far corner, I've got some props, some hanging chains, and then I'm not sure if you can see that, but there is. Let me just turn up the brightness on this guy now. If you can see that a bit more. There is some vines and a sword, and down here I've got a speaker system that I've kind of covered with some Halloween mesh. Got to use that Halloween mesh. I got a whole stack of it for this stuff. On the far walls, we've got these kind of like hanging draped things with just, IKEA blankets bound together with some wire pegged up there. A few of them around the room. It kind of makes it feel a bit more medieval. Some little scattered props in the corners and stuff. So that's just the general layout of the room. So I thought now might be a good idea to show a few more of the specifics about how it's kind of hooked up. Some things like the projection windows, the DMX lighting, even some of the sound effects and stuff as well. So let's go take a look. Come this way. Come, I'll show you. Because I also have a pin spot for myself. So I had pin spots for the players over there for their spots where they can read their written material. And then up on the ceiling, I've got another one pointed down at the Dungeon Master's spot. So that gives enough light for me to be able to read stuff as well. Here's a few, let's go through a few kind of effects scenarios. Now let's break it down. So at the moment I've got some lighting and stuff just set up on this kind of cave board. But let's say we were in a thunderstorm. And so that is a great way to, just test a whole system, I guess. So on here, this is the new toy I've got here. It's the Stream Deck. At the moment, I've got it set to the streaming stuff, but if I change it to my D&D profile, see I've got a few kind of different locations put out there. We've got music, environment stuff. So if you listen to your ears, all right, I'm gonna hit Storm button. So that plays the sound, but it also triggers a video on the projector here. And maybe I'll give it like a manual puff in the fog chamber here that kind of simulates some cloud stuff. Just a nice big soupy mess that's going to come out. Oh yes, I'm gonna empty the chamber. So now that's a cool effect where it kind of dribbles off the table. Oh boy. Now I'm gonna hit chase. I'm gonna chase one. And I've got it set to a very slow speed apparently. So now if you look at the board there, I've got that DMX light that's up in the chandelier there. That's doing an animated sequence of a different few colors. I've got one set up in the back corner there that's shooting out just a residual light effect. So we're in the storm. We're weathering this one. Oh boy. I'm gonna hit the old moon button here. So that's gonna change it to, we're going to get a real moon there now. I'm just going to switch this DMX board to manual, 1 and 3. And I'm going to just dial up the blue. So now we've got a nice calming night room. Now the only disadvantage I've seen with the projection thing, there are probably different ways you could set it up. But the main disadvantage I'm seeing is the flaring. And I wonder if there's some kind of like filter you could get for the lens of the projector, or maybe positioning it in a different way. So, sorry, I had some music playlists. This is all Spotify playlists as well. So I've got a combat folder here. Just haven't set it all up yet, but all right. But stuff is on fire now. So we're going to change the scene. It's a little bit more tense. So I'm going to change the scene on the Elgato Stream Deck, which is going to fire off a video on this far wall and change some of the sound effects, the residual ones, not the dragon. And I'll have to change some of the DMX lights as well, just with a few toggles. So on the Elgato board, I'm going to hit the burning building one. So now we've got fire effects in the room, a little bit in the background. Panic is ensuing. And I'm going to set on the DMX board here to, let's see, we're just gonna go to a red here. Something you usually get a bit more familiar. So now we've got a residual kind of red light in the room. Heck, you could even see that ripple light in the back. We could set that to yellow, give it a good speed as well. If that was, so now we've got some fire on that far wall. We've got fire on this wall. It's chaos. And you can see some of the sparks and stuff. Yeah, it's subtle, but you can see some of them coming on that far wall as well. So it's a completely immersive kind of situation here now. It's up. If I go back a bit, we can show off some of this forest. There's some red light coming from somewhere. I don't know, but it almost looks like you're there. Yeah. And depending on the projection, some of these are brighter than others, and they'll kind of pierce through. And we can fire off some goblins here on the board. So let's fire off some goblins. Oh, it's hard to hear them through the music. Might have to stop that music. You can hear them a little bit. They're far away. Everybody be very quiet. Maybe they'll pass us by. And all right, now we'll press the tavern. So this is a Witcher background. I'm just going to turn down this light. Heck, turn it off. Get some of that effect. And we'll change the light to just a little bit of red, a little bit of green, mixing some of that. So we've got a nice warm tavern going on. So with like the torch light that we have back there that you can make on the channel, if you look at one of the Dungeon Torch video, it's amazing. Doesn't have enough views. Please give it a look and a share. It is fantastic and easy to make for your own Dungeons and Dragons room. Just to lighten it up a bit. Maybe we'll go cyan on the back wall. So yeah. So from some angles, that flaring, especially if it's a whiter kind of projection, I notice it flares a bit more. But it depends what angle you're sitting at. Now I've got the projector kind of positioned in a spot that from the player's perspective, it's kind of at an angle from that side. So they won't see the flaring. They'll just see the image. It's just me that gets the flaring. but you know, whatever. But then I'll throw some of that ice terrain out there. The ice cabins we've made on the channel as well. They're fantastic. I've got them all down here. Oh, I see that now with the fog. That looks pretty good. Yeah. Maybe we'll see how to make these ice cabins. There's a video on the channel where I go full Rime and the Frost Maiden on this thing. Cold. If I was running a Rime and the Frost Maiden, I think I would go ahead and make some like icicles and stuff. Not sure how you'd make them. Probably foam. Probably some kind of like cheap styrofoam. Put something over the top of it. Yeah, let's get some of this. There we go. That's suitably creepy. Like I've gone all dark on the DMX lighting here. Maybe I'll pump up the blue just a little scooch. And this is funny, like you can even just like give the players like a little candle or something. So it's kind of like they're holding a little torch. I like that you can set up multiple sounds on these buttons. So this let's see, this scream button that I have here. So that's a random button. So it'll fire off. It's going to choose from 3 screams, okay? So when you press that button, it's going to pick a random scream, all right? But sometimes it randomly picks the same scream every single time. So let's just get a few screams going. Oh, here's a bad cave. Oh boy. So some of these sound effects for these monsters are set up from battle bards. They have some monster escapes that you can choose from. Some of them are ripped from Sirenscape just by, you know, recording some of them. Some of them I think are just from YouTube, just by like Googling something. The orcs is quite good. There's some orcs in this cave. Oh boy. Get that heartbeat going. What's going to do? Oh, we've got to get away. We're going to open the stone door. I'm still working out how I'm going to group this stuff together, I think. Yeah, so yeah, like I think the amount of buttons I have here, that might be not enough location, so I might have to make pages. At the same time, they do have a larger stream deck, but I feel like I would be overwhelmed by more buttons than this. Ooh, this creepy swamp. I quite like this one. Let's go there. See, I like these foreground elements in the videos. They're quite good because they have that. It's almost like it's there. Actually, probably the best upgrade I've had is this stream deck. I'm still learning the ins and outs of it. So that's already behind the screen. That's speeding up a lot of the process for changing up like some of the visuals. And I think you could also use this for if you had like one of those TV game tops. You could use that to like fire off an image, the ambience, the music, just at a push of a button. And that's something that's very exciting. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please share it around and subscribe. And I'm hoping to get a few more videos on the channel soon. Some more atmospheric props. I've got a new one that's coming up with some good effects. And yeah, there's also the Facebook group at atmoseeker.com if you want to join the discussion with any kind of crazy environmental effects that we're just kind of trying to work out and discuss together. That's always fun as well.